Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So we are in Adi Lila, chapter 2, describing Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Jadadvaita Brahmopanishadi Tadatyasya Tanubha Ja Atmantarjami Purushveti Swasyam Sabhibhava Shadaishwarya Purna Jaiha Bhagavan Sasvayam Ayam Na Chaitanyat Krishna Jayati. Ayam Sri Krishna Chaitanya. This Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Bhagavan, Swayam Bhagavan. And Na Chaitanyat Krishna Jagati. We cannot separate Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from this world. So, to understand how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, we have given a lot of references in the previous classes. So now, by establishing Krishna being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, then we understand that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also the Supreme Lord. So in the last class, we had taken the reference from first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 3, text number 28, which speaks about Yete Chamsa Kalapamsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So in that connection, we had taken the reference to the rhetorical rule which speaks about Anuvadam Anutveva Na Videyam Udirayat. Without first stating the subject, the rhetorical rule does not allow the writer to write the predicate. So predicate appears after the subject. So in that way, we are discussing how Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. But some people, by referring to the description of Srila Sutta Goswami in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, just prior to this verse, text number 28, there are incarnations counted by Srila Sutta Goswami. Number 1, number 2, like this. When he comes to number 19 and 20, he counts Krishna and Balaram. So some people, they raise this objection, whereas the name of Krishna and Balaram appears in counting the various incarnations, then how come the Krishna can become the original personality of Godhead? Of course, this is a common question, or you can say common misunderstanding prevailing among people. So our acharyas, they have very scrutinizingly seen this, and they have explained it very elaborately. Therefore, in addition to this convention of Anuvadam Anukteva Na Vidhyam Udirayat, there is another convention Srila Jiva Goswami brings into discussion, says that Krishna is the Swayam Bhagavan. He is the source of all Purusha, or you can say the quality of being God is seen in Krishna. Not that Krishna's qualities came from God. Krishna is coming from Narayana. No, that's a misunderstanding. Okay? So therefore, it is said he is giving another rule that he is saying Purva Pariye Purva Daurvalyam. Purva Pariye Purva Daurvalyam. That means when we are stating something, what have been said before that becomes weaker than the point which is made after. Okay, purva pariye purva daurvalya. So that means in a list of items, the previous ones are weaker than the later ones. So how to understand this? In text number 28, which is kind of no, the concluding statement about establishing who is the original personality of Godhead. Even after that, Srila Sutta Goswami says, Avatara Sankhya. Just like unlimited rivulets emanate from a vast body of water, similarly, there are innumerable incarnations. But I have counted a few of them. So before the number of incarnations she has counted are not going to take the prominent position in determining the conclusion. Purva Daurvalya. Purva is weaker. The statement made before is weaker. Then what is made after? Krishna's Tu Bhagavan Swayam. This statement is stronger, or this presides over the principles. That means we can take an example from our daily life experience, like in Guruvastakam prayers. Every morning, I hope you all are chanting Guruvastaka prayer, right? In Guruvastaka prayer, Sri Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says, Sakshad Haritvena Samasta Shastrai. This is first line. All revealed scriptures and Sadhvi. Also, the sadhus, they say Guru is Sakshat Hari. Then the next line says, Kintu Prabhurja Priyavatasya. So, prior to saying Kintu Prabhurja Priyavatasya, in the first place, the statement is being made, Guru is Sakshat Hari. So, which statement to take? Isn't it? There are two contradictory statements made in the same verse. So something is said before and another statement is made after. So in this connection, the rule is Purva Pariye Purva Daurvalyam. What have been said before, that is weaker. That means Guru is not Sakshat Hari. Of course, we know this in our society. And then Guru is the confidential servant of the Supreme Personality. So in that way, here, what is being said after the Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, that is the conclusion. Therefore, we have discussed all these points. Now, we are going back to our text number 84 in chapter 2, 83. Krishner Swayam Bhagavatta Hailo Sadhya Swayam Bhagavanir Krishnatva Hailo Vadhya. This establishes that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. The original personality of Godhead is therefore necessarily Krishna. That means the quality of being God is originally in Krishna. Okay? Krishna jadi amsa haito amsi narayan tabi viparita haito suter vachan. Some people say Narayana is amsi. He is the source, not Krishna. And Krishna is amsa. He is his incarnation. Krishna is an incarnation of Narayana. This is the opinion of some people. Therefore, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he says here, Krishna jadi amsa haito. Had Krishna been the plenary person and Narayana, primeval Lord, amsi, Narayana, tabe viparita haito suter vachan. then the statement of Sutta Goswami would have been reversed. Means, instead of saying Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, he should have said Swayam Bhagavan to Krishna. Or some other people may also, while doing Anvaya. Anvaya means the Sanskrit words in a verse is arranged in such a way that it gives a proper sentence in English or in any other language you can say. So while doing Anmaya, somebody may say Swayam Bhagavan to Krishna. No, we cannot say it like that. Therefore, the further it is explained by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami that Narayanan Shrijai Swayam Bhagavan Teho Shri Krishna Iche Kari Vyakhyan. Thus he would have said Narayana, the source of all incarnations, is the original personality of Godhead. He has appeared as Sri Krishna. Here he said, Teho Sri Krishna Oiche Karito Vyakhyan. Oiche Karito Vyakhyan means, if we see the commentary of the Acharyas to this verse, Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam, all earlier commentators, they have explained this verse by following the sequence of Srila Sutta Goswami, that Krishna's to Bhagavan, Sridhar Swami and others. So, when all Acharyas have elaborated on Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam, not otherwise, then how can we take the reversed meaning? No. So no commentator accepts this. Therefore, like other day I was stressing on the point that we, being the follower of Srila Rupa Goswami, we belong to Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Parampara, knowledge has to be accepted. We cannot make a philosophy of our own. No, we are not allowed to do that. Who gave you the authority to concoct and create your own philosophy? You want to write your own Samhita? Okay, go and create your own. But who will accept it? Therefore, all the acharyas, they have commentary, they have given commentary, and we need to follow. Means the conclusive understanding of the revealed scriptures has to be accepted in accordance with the line of the scriptural authority or acharyas, right? So, therefore, here Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he is making a very clear statement. Oiche Karito Vyakhyan. They would have explained it otherwise, but no, they have not said otherwise. Therefore, Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam. So, now he continues. Brahma Pramada Vipralipsa Karana Pata Arsha Vigya Vakya Nahi Dosha. Mistakes, illusion, cheating, and defective perception do not occur in the sayings of the authoritative sages. Brahma Pramada Vipralipsa Karana. I hope those who have completed their Bhakti Shastri in Sri Shopanishad, you must have studied these terms, right? You are familiar with these terms. Brahma. Brahma means we commit mistake. How do we commit mistake? Committing mistake means thinking one object to be different. Srila Prabhupada, he comments in the purport, he says, Brahma refers to false knowledge or mistakes, such as accepting a rope as a snake or an oyster shell as gold. Or some other time, you said that somebody by mistake, he thinks an oyster shell to be silver. So this is called Brahma. Then Pramada. Pramada means illusion. Illusion. Pramada refers to inattention or misunderstanding of reality. Ah. What is that? That means sometimes this illusion arises due to inattention. For example, when you hear somebody speaking a particular concept, and because of being inattentive, in between you miss to hear a few words. Then, when you try to clarify it to somebody, you will not be able to explain it as it is. That is illusion. Okay, because you have not heard properly. That's why Prabhupada is saying that Pramada refers to inattention or misunderstanding of reality. Therefore, we are advised to hear uh, the scripture from our authority, the Paramparaacharyas, because the way they have heard from their guru, they will explain to us, and we follow their advice, we listen to them. Then we can remain free from the illusion. On the other hand, when we are being dependent on our mental ability, like scientists and other philosophers, then we will commit mistake. Okay. Therefore, we have to hear it from the right source. Then, vipralipsa. Vipralipsa, the cheating propensity. Cheating propensity. There are so many people who are very expert in cheating others. Prabhupada used to say, this world is filled with cheaters and cheated. There are a group of people who are fond of cheating others. There are others who being repeatedly cheated by the cheaters. And this world is going on like that. Okay. So vipralipsa is cheating propensity. Then karana pata. Karana pata refers to the imperfectness of the material senses. When somebody does not take up Krishna consciousness, his senses are material, and their senses are also imperfect. So, imperfect of the senses can be understood by taking this analogy. Prabhupada is giving this explanation in his purport. He's saying that one cannot even see his own eyelid, which is the closest thing to his eye. And if one is disturbed by a disease like jaundice. So, imperfectness of the senses is explained like when one is suffering from jaundice. He sees even a white conch shell to be yellow. Right? Those who have suffered from jaundice, you understand this. It's very well. So this is called karana patava. When our eye is limited, it cannot even see our eyelid, which is the closest object to our eyes. And what power does this material eye have to see the spiritual object? No, we cannot. So therefore, a conditioned soul has these four defects: dhamma, pramada, vipralipsa, karana patava. But here it is said, Ishware vakye nahi dosha isa. Arsa vakye nahi dosha isa. Those who are authoritative selves. So who has compiled Srimad Bhagavatam? Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva is an incarnation of Narayana. Then he is not an ordinary soul. How can there be any fault in his writings? No, there cannot. Therefore, it said, Viruddhartha kahatumi kahite karadosh tomar arthe abhimrishta vidheyamsa dosh. You say something contradictory to Shastra, and become angry when this is pointed out. Your explanation has the defect of a misplaced object. And this is an unconsidered adjustment. So let us understand this. What is abhimrishta vidheyamsha? Vidheyamsha dosh. Okay. So in writing, there are certain rules to be followed. That's why not everybody can become a writer. To become a perfect writer, you need to know a lot of things. There is a scripture called Sahitya Darpan, which explains this abhimrishta vidheyamsha dosh. What is that? It says abhimrishta dosh. It means pradhanyena anirdishta vidheyamsha jatra tat. Means in a writing, when anirdishta vidheyamsha pradhanya, when the predicate is not explained with importance, pradhanya. Okay, then that is called abhimrishta dosh. How does it happen? It says tat padarthanam madhye vidheyamshasya upadeyatvena. Tat padarthanam. Who is tat? Tat vastu is the Supreme Lord. Tat in Shastra, Supreme. Tat padarthanam means the objects which are related to the Supreme Lord. When the objects with reference to the Supreme Lord are explained with reference pradhanya mainly. Tasya cha pradhanyena means we are describing the objects in relation to the Supreme Lord. You can say the objects in regard to the Supreme Lord. Then what happens? Those objects has to be very prominently described. Nirdesa eva uchita tad viparjayascha vidhyamsha dosha. That means when the objects which are related to the Supreme Lord is not described with importance, then that is called vidhyamsha dosha. So here the argument is, dear sir, you are arguing that Krishna is not from Bhagavan, Krishna is coming from Narayana. And we are giving all quotations from Shastra, and still you don't believe. And what you do? You become angry. This is the kind of common practice we see in this world. When somebody is not following Shastra, and you tell him, this is not correct, immediately he becomes angry. This is the first reaction you can see. So therefore, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, Viruddhartha kahatumi kahite karo dosh. You are giving a contradictory meaning which is not compatible with Shastra, and when it is pointed out, then you become angry. Why? That is not good. Okay? Jara bhagavatta haite anyer bhagavatta swayam bhagavan sabder tahate satta. Only the personality of Godhead, the source of all other divinities, is eligible to be designated Swayam Bhagavan or the primeval Lord. Swayam Bhagavan ता हईते जार भगवत्ता हईते अन्येर भगवत. That means there are innumerable incarnations, and the quality of being God is coming to those incarnations from the original personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. So here, like we see, there are different incarnations, comes at different time to accomplish a particular task. Our acharyas and Srila Prabhupada also, they explain this concept like this. When you want to illuminate different compartments, different rooms of different size, we don't put same bulb we having the equal wattage, right? I mean to say, when you want to lit a room which is maybe 10 square foot, and you want to lit a room which has got 50 square foot, and another room which has got 100 square foot, we are not going to use the bulb with same wattage to lit all three rooms. Maybe we need to put the highest wattage in 100 square foot room and the less wattage in 10 square foot room. Whatever is required, you apply that, right? So here similarly, like Narasimhadev, Parasuram, they appeared to execute a particular mission. They exhibited anger mostly. Like Narasimhadev was very angry because his devotee Prahlad was tortured by his father, Hiranyakashipu. Parasuram, he also 21 times killed, annihilated the Kshatriyas. Narada, Varaha, Buddha created faith in people. When people's faith in the religious scripture was diluted, then they came. There was a need. Rama, Dhanvantari, for fame, Balaram, Mohini, Vamana for beauty, Dattatreya, Matsya, Kurma, Kapila, transcendental knowledge, and Nara and Narayan Rishi, renunciation. So this is what we need to understand, that Jar Bhagavatta Haite Anya Bhagavatta. The Bhagavatta, the quality of being God, seen in this Narayan, Dattatreya, Matsya, Kumara. So these all qualities are coming from the original personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Text number 89 and 90, these two verses give the purport of the word Swayam Bhagavan. Okay, 89 and 90. दीपहैते जैष्य बहु दीपेर्ज्वलान् मूल एक दीप्तः करिये गणान् तैचे सब अवतारेर कृष्ण शिकारान् आरेक श्लोक सुना कुबा व्याख्या खंडान्. When from one candle many others are lit, I consider that one the original. So here it is explained that you have one lamp, and from the first lamp you lit the second lamp. From second lamp you lit the third lamp. From third lamp, fourth lamp, like this. So you may go on lighting many lamps, but there is the original lamp from which the first lamp was lit, right? Just like in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is explained that from Krishna comes Balaram, who is the Mahasankarsana or Mula Sankarsana. And from him comes the Chaturbhuja in Dwaraka. Then from the Sankarshan of Dwaraka Chaturbhuja comes Chaturbhuja in Vaikuntha. Then the Sankarshana of Vaikuntha Chaturbhuja, from Sankarshana of Vaikuntha Chaturbhuja comes Karandakshay Vishnu. From Karandakshay Vishnu comes Garhudakshay Vishnu. From the Garhudakshay Vishnu, Samsa, Bhinnamsa, all are emanating. Right? Yetan Nana Avataranam Nidhanam Bijam Bhagavatam says. Garhudakshay Vishnu, who is the source, is the Bija. That means from him comes Brahma. From Brahma, Marichi and other Lokapalas, they come. And this is how the whole universe is populated. So Prabhupada gives the example, Samsa and Vinnamsa. Samsa like Matsya, Kurma, etc. They are Varaha, etc. They are Samsa. Like in our body, this hand is our Samsa. We cannot cut our hand. But then the hair which is coming out from our head, that is Vinnamsa. Okay. So in that way, Deepa Haite Jaiche Bodhipel Jalan. So from one original lamp, so many lamps are being lit. But there is still original lamp. So Prabhupada, he writes in the purport, he says, I just want to read. A burning lamp can light innumerable other lamps. And although they will not be inferior, still the lamp from which the others are lit must be considered the original. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead expands himself in the plenary forms of the Vishnu Tattva. And although they are equally powerful, the original powerful personality of Godhead is considered the source. This analogy also explains the appearance of qualitative incarnations like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, Sambhostu Tamo Adhishthanattvat Kajjala Shukshma Deepashikha Sthaniyasya Na Tatha Samyam. The Sambhu Tattva, or the principle of Lord Shiva, is like a lamp covered with karva because of his being in charge of the mode of ignorance. The illumination from such a lamp is very minute. Therefore, the power of Lord Shiva cannot compare to that of Vishnu principles. So in that way, even though there are different incarnations they come, but we should never equate them with the Supreme Personality of God. We should not bring competition between Krishna and other gods. No, we are not allowed to do that. When we have understood Krishna is Swayambhava. Taiche Sabhavatarir Krishna Sikaran Arohika Slokasuna Kuvakhya Khandan. Krishna, in the same way, is the cause of all causes and all incarnations. Please hear another verse to defeat all misinterpretations. So then text number 91, 92, again coming from the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which gives the evidence to establish Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. Not that Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami gives only one evidence, then he feels satisfied. No, he is giving many evidences to prove, to support his argument. This Srimad Bhagavatam, which is describing the 10 characteristics of the Supreme Lord. That's why it is called Mahapuran. And what are those 10 characteristics described in Srimad Bhagavatam? Let us understand. Atra sarga visargascha sthanam poshnamutaya manvantari shanukatha nirodha muktirashraya dasamasya visuddhyartam navanam lakshanam varnayanti mahatmana sute narthin chanchasa. So, Mahatmas, Mahajanas have described these 9 directly or indirectly through prayers or direct explanations. So the Mahatmas have described what they have described 9 symptoms. What are those? It is said that this Srimad Bhagavatam, Tasma idam Bhagavatam Puranam Dasalakshana. This Bhagavad Purana has 10 symptoms, characteristics. Sarga atra sarga. Sarga means Bhuta matrendriya dhyam janma brahmana navaisamyat. When the 3 modes are disturbed from Supreme Lord comes Bhuta. Bhuta means Panchamahabhuta. Earth, water, fire, okay. Matra. Matra means 5 sense objects. Form, smell, sound, touch, etc. And Indriya, there are 10 senses, right? So all these things are born due to the introduction of the 3 modes. Therefore, it is called Sarga. Or you can say, Sarga is the first ingredient that comes from the Supreme Lord. As we know, when Mahavishnu he lies down on the causal ocean and he glances our Mahatattva, then there is Guna Vaishanya, there is interaction between the 3 modes. That's why that is how all these items are generated and creation process continues. That means the main ingredients of the creation is given by the Supreme Lord. I think other day we took this example, like when a mother, she goes to the kitchen. Father goes to the market, he buys the ingredients and keeps in the kitchen. Then mother goes to prepare so many different types of dishes in the kitchen, right? So now here in the creation matter, original ingredients are supplied by Mahavishnu, Vishnu, and then the secondary creation, which is called Visarga. Visarga Paurusha-smita. That means the creation which is taken forward by Lord Brahma. That is called Visarga. So Prabhupada, he writes, Visarga, the secondary creation or the work of Brahma in producing the moving and unmoving bodies in the universe. Where did he get the ingredients to create these moving and unmoving bodies? From the Lord. Okay, so Krishna in form of Vishnu is the primary creator and Brahma is the secondary creator. Unfortunately, some people even consider that Brahma is the God. He is creator. No, Brahma is not creator. Okay, then Atasarga Visarga Sthanava Sthiti. Sthiti Vaikuntha Vijaya. That means the maintenance of the universe by the personality of Godhead. Here we need to understand one thing, that Vishnu's function is more important and his glory greater than Brahma's and Lord Shiva's. So in that way, this speaks about sthanam, or you can say like this sthanam is described in the 5th canto. There are different planetary systems in the universe, and the living entities are being promoted to different universes according to their karma. and how then finally by the will of the Lord they are being freed from karma. So all these things are described, and what is the function of the different living beings in different planets. So this is called sthiti, sthana. Then poshana, poshana, poshan tad anugraha. The special care and protection for the devotees by the Lord is called poshana. In the sixth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, you find the example of poshana from the life of Ajamil, right? Ajamil was protected by the Lord. There are so many examples also. Even our Prabhupada, definitely, Prabhupada was traveling in the Jaldut and he had 2 heart attacks. Who protected him? Then he saw the dream. How Krishna had become the captain of the ship. So he protected Prabhupada, right? Portion of protection and care given by the Lord. Then Utaya, Karma Vasana. Desires that arise from karma. Like today we perform some activity and that will give rise to the desire to perform another activity. That is called Uti, Karma Vasana. How to understand this? Oh, you went to somebody's house, and they gave you nice, thing to eat. And that created a desire. Oh, now I need to also cook same thing. I want to eat same thing. You saw something, then you desire, oh, I want to repeat. I want to see the same thing again. So this is called Utaya, Karma. Then Manvantara. Manvantarani Sadharma. Means these Manus who come in a day of Brahma. Actually, there are 14 Manus who come in a day of Brahma. They actually rule the citizens. Means these Manus, they teach regulative principles for living beings. And those who desire to attain perfection in human life, they take shelter of these regulative principles given by Manus. Right? There is a Samhita called Manu Samhita. And this is a Dharma Shastra. By following the Samhita, general people, they can elevate themselves and finally they can attain perfection. Manvantara. Then Ishan Katha. Ishan Katha means the character of the Lord's incarnations and Sadhu's character. So that is called Ishan Katha. And Sadhu means those who are dedicated to the Lord, pure devotees of the Lord. The Nirodha, the winding up of all energies employed in meditation. That means pralaya. Nirodha means pralaya. There is Prakruta pralaya or Mahapralaya. Means at the end of Brahma's life. How long Brahma lives? Brahma lives for 100 years. What is that 100 years for us? It's very difficult to understand in this human brain. What is a big time of Brahma's 100 years? But anyway, Brahma Samhita says, Jasvaika Nishwasta Kala Mathavalambya. That 100 years of Brahma is equal to one breath of Mahavishnu. When he inhales, then everything is destroyed. All this created energy, they go and enter into his body. And when he breathes out, then everything starts again. Okay. So this is what is called, the Nirodha. Then Mukti means Mukti hitva anyatha rupa surupena vyavasthiti. Anyatha rupam hitva. When we give up our desire to enjoy separately from Krishna, and we just simply engage ourselves in serving the Lord, then you can even attain the Parsada there. That is actually Mukti. They explain Mukti liberation. of the conditioned souls encased by the gross and subtle coverings of body and mind. When freed from all material affections, the soul giving up the gross and subtle material bodies can attain the spiritual sky in his original spiritual body and engage in transcendental loving service to the Lord in Vaikuntha Loka or Krishna Loka. When the soul is situated in his original constitutional position of existence, he is said to be liberated. It is possible to engage in transcendental loving service to the Lord and become Jivanmukta, a liberated soul, even while in the material body. That is why I read this person. That when we are in this material body and we engage solely in Krishna conscious activities, then gradually there will be a shift of our consciousness from this world or even from the other world. I mean to say, uh, when we are perfect in our sadhana practice, you will never become disturbed by any kind of even agitating situation we may face. Sometimes some sadhus are being faced with some provocating situations. But you see, they are undisturbed because their mind is fixed in Krishna. So I hope by studying this Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be merciful to all of us. And one day he will give us this stage of attaining Jivan Mukta situation. So, Asraya, the transcendence, the Samambodham, from whom everything emanates, upon whom everything rests, and in whom everything merges after annihilation. He is the source and support of all. The Ashraya is also called the Supreme Brahman. As in the Vedanta Sutra, Athata Brahma Jigyasa Janma Dasyajata, Srimad Bhagavatam especially describes this Supreme Brahman as the Ashraya. So Krishna is this Ashraya, and therefore the greatest necessity of life is to study the science of Krishna. All glories to their devotees. Prabhupada is saying that the greatest necessity of life is to study. So you all are coming. So your greatest necessity, I hope, is being fulfilled. Anyway, two different principles are to be considered herein, namely Asraya, the object providing shelter, and Asrita, the dependence requiring shelter. Who is Asraya Tattva and who is Asrita Tattva? Asraya is Supreme Lord, and Asrita is we, the living entities. Or you can say the entire creation has taken shelter in the Supreme Lord. Like even we say all the different planets are floating in the sky, right? But what is the sky? That is also an energy of the Supreme Lord. So then it is resting in Him. Not that all this universe is resting on Krishna's body directly. We don't have to take this literal meaning like that. When Veda explains something, it explains clearly. No, it rests in Krishna's energy. So anyway, so the first nine, the first nine categories described in the first nine cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, from creation to liberation, including the Purusha avatars, the incarnations, the marginal energy or living entities, and the external energy or material world are all ashrita. The prayers of Srimad Bhagavatam, however, aim for the Ashraya Tattva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, the great souls expert in describing Srimad Bhagavatam, have very diligently delineated the other 9 categories, sometimes by direct narrations and sometimes by indirect narrations, such as stories. The real purpose of doing this is to know perfectly the absolute transcendency of Krishna for the entire creation, both material and spiritual, rests on the body of Sri Krishna. So when it is indirectly described in story form, it is not just to create some confusion in the minds of the readers. No, there are different ways of explaining the tattva so that we can gain the stability and we can get the confidence to take shelter of the Ashraya Tattva, Virasrita. So then, Ashraya Janite Kahi, Enava Padartha, Enovera Utpatti Hetu, say Ashrayartha. To know distinctly the ultimate shelter of everything. To know distinctly the ultimate shelter of everything I have described the other 9 categories. The cause for the appearance of these 9 is rightly called their shelter. Krishna eka sarvasya Krishna sarvadham Krishna sarire sarva vishvera vishnam. The personality of Godhead Sri Krishna is the shelter and abode of everything. All the universes rest in his body. So here all the universes rest in his body means they are resting in his energy. Okay. So Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Then in text number 95, and Dasame Dasamam Laksham Asitasya Vigraham Sri Krishnakhyam Parandhama Jagadhama Namamita. He said, the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam reveals the 10th subject of Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the shelter of all surrendered souls. He is known as Sri Krishna, and he is the ultimate source of all the universes. Let me offer my wishes unto him. So, this is a very important verse, again quoted to establish Sri Krishna eva ashraya padartha iti etat pramanayati. This verse explains or proves the fact that Krishna is ashraya tattva. He is a shelter for everything. How? Dasame. Dasame, dasamaskande means in the 10th chapter, 10th canto. Dasame, dasamam, lakhyam. Lakhyam means uh, in 10th canto, Krishna is seen, right, very clearly through his pastimes. And Satrapuja also explained, like Vedastuti, for example. So Dasame means Dasame Lakyam, Krishna is seen. Asrita Sraya Vigraham, Asritanam Sankarsanadinam Asraya Vigraha Sariram Jasya. Asrita Srita Vigraha. Asritanam. Who are Asrita here? Like Sankarsana and others. As we explained just a little bit before, that the Sankarsana comes from Balram, or even then Balram comes from Krishna. That means they are actually shelter. They are taking shelter in Krishna. So in that way, Krishna's body is shelter for even some person and others. Arshita Vigraham Param Dhama Jagat Dhama Cha Etad Visheshmatrayana Sargadina Padarthanam Utpatyadi Hetuhu Sri Krishna Ityuktam. When in this verse it is said, Arshita Vigraham Sri Krishnakhyam Paramdhama, then Jagadhama Namani. So there are 3 adjectives. These adjectives clearly communicates the message that Sri Krishna is the source of all the ingredients, even including the Vishnu, Sankarshan. Okay, so in that way, this verse also explains that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. Then it says 96, Krishner Sarupar, Krishner Sarupar, Saktitraya Gyan, Jar hoy tar nahi, Krishne Gyan. Very important. One who knows the real feature of Sri Krishna and his three different energies cannot remain ignorant about him. So the Prabhupada has given a very long purport to this verse. I think we can read a portion of the purport to check the understanding. In the beginning, Srila Prabhupada writes, Srila Jiva Goswami states in his Bhagavad Sandarbha 16 that by his potencies, which act in natural sequences beyond the scope of the speculative human mind, the supreme transcendence, the summum bonum, eternally and simultaneously exists in four transcendental features: his personality, his impersonal effulgence, particles of his potency, the living beings, and the principal cause of all causes, the supreme whole is compared to the sun, which also exists in four features, namely the personality of God, personality of the sun god, the glare of his glowing sphere, the sun rays inside the sun planet, and the sun's reflection in many other objects. So here, Krishna Swarupar Shaktitraya Gyan. So when we want to understand Krishna Swarup, Satchitanandamaya Krishna Swarup, and in addition to that, also Upasana Bheda. Those are Brahmopasakas, they say Brahman is God, Paramatma, they say Paramatma, Super Soul, they meditate. And there are others who consider Bhagavan. But even though that is Krishna Swarup, and also need to have a clear understanding about the three energies of the Supreme Lord. Jar hoy tar nahi krishnete agyan. One who understands this is not having any confusion about Krishna. What are these three energies? In the same, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita explains, Krishner Ananta Shakti Tatitin Pradhan Chit Shakti Maya Shakti Jiva Shakti Nam Antaranga Bahiranga Tatastha Pahijare Antaranga Swarup Shakti Savaru. Vishnu Shakti Parapukta Kshatragya Khyatha Para Avidya Karma Sanyanya Tritiya Shakti. So in that way, there are innumerable references in Shastra which describe that Krishna's energy is mainly divided into three. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, these three categories, these three energies of the absolute truth are also described in the Vishnu Purana, where it is said that the living being is equal in quality to the internal potency, whereas the external potency is indirectly controlled by the chief cause of the causes, Maya. Anyway, so then if you further go on saying that although the potency of Maya is inferior in quality to the marginal potency, which consists of the living beings who are part and parcel of the Lord, it nevertheless has the power to control the living beings. Just as fog can block the actions of a certain person of the sun's rays, although it cannot cover the sun. Maya cannot cover the Lord. Maya cannot spread or influence on the world. Like the example has been given, the cloud. Cloud cannot cover the sun. Or you may say, no, 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 I see cloud is covering the sun in a clouded day. No, no. Cloud is covering your eyesight. You are so limited. Try to understand this. Because cloud covers your eyesight, therefore you cannot see beyond. Cloud cannot cover the sun. Similarly, Maya cannot cover the Supreme Lord. The three potencies, namely internal, external, and marginal. Antaranga, Bahiranga, and Tatastha Bahira. There are three energies. Okay? Are essentially one in the ultimate issue. If you see, if you take it from the transcendental perspective, the energy is one. Krishna Anantartiba Tatatin Pradhan. Okay, they are different in action, like electricity, electric energy, which can produce both cold and heat under different conditions. The external and marginal potencies are uh, under so called under various conditions. But in the original internal potencies, there are no such conditions, nor is it possible for the conditions of the external potency to exist in the material marginal or vice versa. One who is able to understand the intricacies of all these energies of the Supreme Lord can no longer remain an empiric impersonalist under the influence of a poor fund of knowledge. So therefore, this Chaitanya Charitamrita study what we have undertaken. Initially, we are going for these Siddhantas, the tattvas. As Krishna Goswami says, Siddhanta Baliya Chitte Nakaralos Yaha Haite Lage Krishna Sutra. Here also it is said that when one is conversant with Tattva, the philosophy, then his mind will be fixed. So when we are studying this Tattva, and that is helping us to meditate, or that is helping us to understand more about our worshipful Lord Krishna, how great He is. And in that way, we can fully dedicate ourselves to serve Krishna to meet with success in this human form of life. May Krishna bless you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So I think we can continue from text number 97.